We're here in our studio and we have a special guest with us, John Bilbey, who has worked at Carl's Golfland for 35 years, but today, Friday,
the end.
It's your last day. You're retiring, which is a happy thing, but I'm sure it's also a sad day. Yeah. We wanted to bring you in here and give the folks at home a look at your life, your career here, and your time at Carl's Golfland. And we were chatting a little bit before this, off camera, about how you even got here. So let's start all the way back. You started here in 1989, but prior to that, what were you doing?
I was in the U.S. military.
And what exactly were you doing in the military?
I am a jet mechanic by trade. I'm a propulsion engineer by trade.
Okay. So you get out of the military, and then what happens from there? You were looking for a job?
Not even looking for a job. I already had a job set up to go out west in around Miramar, California, to work with jets again. And I had nothing to do, and a friend who worked here suggested, hey, why don't you go up there? All you got to do is mow grass and pick golf balls.
Yeah.
You don't really have to do much. It'd give you something to do before you went out west. I said, well, you know what? All right, I'll give it a shot.
So you give it a shot.
I come up here.
And what did the job entail at that time? Do you remember?
Well, at that time, when I first come up here, I just was talking to an elderly gentleman, and we just got to talking, and like we knew each other for years, and come to find out it was Mr. Rose, Carl himself.
Yeah.
And he hired me right then, and it was just to pick up golf balls and mow the grass, the greens and stuff.
And it was supposed to be temporary until you moved out west.
Yep, it was only temporary, and it was a temporary job back then too. We only worked, it was seasonal. We only worked in the winter.
Oh, wow.
That was it. They didn't work during the summer, during the fall or anything. In the winter months, it was shut down outside.
Right. Yes. So at the time, what did Carl's Golfland look like?
Well, for one thing, there was the tees that we hit off today was all open. There was no covered area. There was no heat, and they were wood. They're metal grates now that separate between stalls.
Yep.
And back then they were all wood.
Yeah. Was the range still as big as it is, or was it
still the same? It's still the same, but it was grass.
Oh, okay.
The field was grass. It wasn't tarp.
Yeah.
As it is today.
And you mentioned Mr. Rose was the one that hired you.
Yes, he did.
1989. Now I believe Carl's Golfland is around 300 employees. How many employees would you estimate?
Around 65, around there.
Okay. And you had mentioned off camera too, a lot of those employees were actually family.
They were all family.
The Rose
yes.
family.
They were mostly the Rose family. Carl and his sisters and aunts and cousins and nephews.
So at what point in the process of when you started to work here, when you were working here, did you say, okay, this isn't going to be a temporary thing, I'm just going to stay?
You know, that's weird because I never gave it a thought. It just happened.
Okay.
I just decided this is it. This is cool.
Why do you
great bunch of people.
Why do you think it happened?
Mr. Rose himself.
What specifically about
his attitude and the way he brought forth what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? If it's hard to explain how his projection of what Golfland was to be, what he liked, what he's seen, his vision.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah. So at one point, did you ever look back after maybe a year and say, okay, I was going to go work on jets. Now I'm staying at Carl's
Golfland. Yes, I did. But like I said, it wasn't even a second guess. I didn't mind it because I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a great time, good people, fun.
Yeah. And so you work your way through, 10 years goes by. Did you ever look back at that point and say, I made the right choice?
Oh yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
And I look back and say, this is great.
What made it great?
The people. All the people who are the good bunch of people. The environment.
Yeah.
The environment, good work environment.
Is there a memory that you do have that sticks out to you about either Mr. Rose or the family or working here?
Well, there's just so many. It's just so many. I couldn't go back and say which one in particular because there's just too many.
I know a lot has changed, obviously, in the world, within Carl's Golfland. We've expanded. As you've seen Carl's grow the way that it has, unfortunately, we have lost Mr. Rose and Carl. It seems like, with a business that grows and expands, things will definitely change. But it seems like the soul and what it's trying to be has always stayed the same.
It's always stayed the same.
Yeah.
Yet the heart and soul of the company's never changed.
Yeah.
And it still hasn't.
Yep.
I mean, it's shifted a little bit, of course, because nobody's Carl.
Right. I know you said there's too many memories, but do you have either about Carl or Mr. Rose something that you loved about them?
His straightforward attitude.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he was just straightforward with you. He told you the way it is. I mean, he was straightforward.
Good or bad?
Always good or bad, it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Yep, and he was very competitive, highly competitive, and that's what I loved.
So as we look forward now, we look back a little bit, we're going to look forward. You're retiring today. The next chapter of your life starts tomorrow. Are you going to come back and visit? Are you going to take up any new hobbies?
Every now and then I will, yeah.
Is there anything that you're looking forward to doing now?
Just R&R.
Yeah.
Well, people always say, "Are you going to travel, John? You going to do that?" I go, I've been all over the world. I've been to 87 different countries. I really don't have any desire to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, might seem weird, but I really don't. I mean, I love Michigan itself. I've been to many, like I said, countries, a lot of states, and I just, Michigan's great.
Yeah. Well, I know we're going to miss you. 35 years, a lifetime of memories and experiences here at Carl's Golfland. You will be missed. A job well done. Congratulations to you, John, on great retirement.
Well, thank you very much.